Three underworld stooges have been jailed for a total of 18 years for their firebombing roles in Scotland's raging gang wars. Marshall O'Hara, Aiden McLaughlin, who are both 21, and Fraser Stewart, who's 22, torched homes and a business as part of a feud with Glasgow's notorious Daniel crime clan. The trio were earlier warned they faced lengthy jail sentences after admitting their part in a campaign of terror said to have been sparked by Ross Miami McGill, who has ties to the rival Lions crew. And today, Judge Lord Mulholland was true to his word when he sentenced the trio at the High Court in Glasgow.
Ongoing feud between rival organised crime groups. In April 2025, fire raisings occurred at three residential properties belonging to individuals believed to be linked to an organised crime group. Commercial property was also targeted. The public won't accept this gangsterism. Law enforcement won't accept it, and the courts won't accept it. You were all acting under the direction of senior members of an organised crime group. It was sheer naked gangsterism, pure and simple.
He sentenced O'Hara and Stewart to 7 years and 6 months, while McLaughlin was given a 3-year stretch. He made O'Hara and Stewart the subject of non-harassment orders against two of the victims who had provided impact statements to the court. We told how the so-called Tamil Junto lackeys O'Hara and Stewart struck first last April at a home in Milton in Glasgow. The city's court heard James Daniel and Margaret McIntyre and two others were in the pad at the time before fleeing via the back door after being woken up by a bang. Prosecutor John Keenan KC earlier told the court, doorbell footage showed O'Hara pour liquid on the door. He asked, "Where is the light?" Stewart then passed a lighter. The door was then engulfed in flames. Later the pair headed to a property in Steps in Lanarkshire where occupants including Robert Daniel were asleep. They torched a BMW X5 in the driveway before an explosion of flames engulfed the home. The Louts then teamed up with McLaughlin to firebomb the carpet store factory outlet in Bishop Briggs near Glasgow later that day. The unit was run by Daniel clan enforcer Craig Rob Roy Gallagher, who had been jailed days before for chasing 3 men and a woman with an axe. 7 days after the carpet factory blazed, the nearby home of Norman and Margaret Daniel was targeted. After being snared as part of Police Scotland's ongoing Operation Portalage, O'Hara and Stewart were destined for court and both pled guilty to 4 charges of wilful fire raising. McLaughlin admitted the same crime for his part in the factory fire. Prosecutors accepted their not guilty pleas to setting fire to the home of Daniel clan matriarch Annette Daniel, and attempted murder charges were also removed from the indictments. Slamming the disgraceful attacks at an earlier hearing in March, Lord Mulholland told the Hoods,
"We could quite easily have been facing a murder charge had the fires taken a different course. We can see the dangers of fires from recent events in Glasgow."
We told how McGill was arrested in Dubai last September, along with gang kingpin Stephen Lyons, cocaine dealer Stephen Larwood, and Stephen Jimmy Jameson, sidekick of crime godfather Jamie Iceman Stevenson. McGill, Lyons and Larwood were released and booted out of the country, while Jameson was held and later extradited back to Scotland. Career crook Jameson was sentenced to 6 years earlier this month after he admitted his role in Stevenson's crime gang dealing cocaine, heroin and etazolum. Lyons was sensationally arrested in Bali in Indonesia in March as part of an international sting involving Spanish and Scottish cops, as well as Interpol and other international crime fighters. The mobster is behind bars in the Netherlands awaiting extradition to Spain, with a hearing set for June to decide his fate. His 38-year-old wife Amanda is still in custody in Dubai. The couple were swept up as part of Operation Armorum, a sprawling cross-border probe into the Lion mob's transnational crime network. The blitz came 10 months after Stephen's brother Eddie Lyons Jr. and pal Ross Monaghan were both shot dead in Fuengirola in Spain. Alleged hitman 45-year-old Michael Riley of Huyton in Liverpool is being held in a Costa del Sol jail as he awaits trial over the double execution. The whereabouts of McGill and Larwood remains unclear. And police have so far arrested around 70 people on Scottish soil in their ongoing Operation Portalage crackdown.